So this report is a very, very big deal. There's been talk for now, I think it's been about a month or so, where President Trump has said he wants to see a relocation of the people of Gaza to other parts of the Arab world as a resolution of the conflict. Now, Egypt and Jordan, who he was saying the Gazans should be relocated to, pushed back on this. They said, we're going to reinvest in Gaza. Brilliant, as if that's going to solve things and have their investments totally wiped out, because no doubt Hamas will get back into charge, or that kind of ideology will, and they'll just choose war and terror. But now a report is coming out that Egypt is saying that it's willing to temporarily relocate 500,000 Gazans to northern Sinai. Now, this is an unverified report by a Hezbollah-linked newspaper, and I'll just read to you what's being said, because if this is true, this could signal cracks in the Arab opposition to Trump's Gaza transfer plan. You know, they say, oh, okay, it'll be temporary, but you have to say that just to get the ball rolling. And it's amazing because there was, Trump has been talking about moving and removing aid from Egypt, and I think he's even been looking at that, even actioned some of that. And it just shows the leverage that America is choosing to wield here. So this is the report. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has approved a plan to temporarily relocate up to 500,000 Gaza residents, approximately a quarter of the enclave's population, to a designated city in northern Sinai. Hezbollah-affiliated Lebanese newspaper Al-Akbar reported Friday morning. This is according to Ynet News. According to the report, which has not been confirmed by any other source, the move would require Egypt to open its border to Gaza residents wishing to leave the territory. The report statement by el-Sisi was said to have been made during the recent Arab summits. The purported Egyptian position has reportedly raised concerns in Jordan, which has stated it is prepared to offer limited aid only to families of the wounded and only on a temporary basis. The report also referenced a previous US plan presented by President Trump alongside Prime Minister Netanyahu that proposed American control over Gaza and the removal of its 2 million residents, a plan that drew widespread international condemnation. Early this month, during an Arab League summit, Egypt presented a $53 billion Gaza reconstruction plan, which included the creation of 7 zones for temporary housing to accommodate up to 1.5 million Palestinians. According to the report, the UN Security Council may consider deploying international peacekeeping forces in Gaza. Brilliant. How'd that work out with Hezbollah in Lebanon? The plan also called for a 6-month transitional administration led by independent technocrats under the Palestinian Authority. That'll be great. Excluding representatives from Gaza's terrorist factions. At the time, the plan did not include any Egyptian agreement to absorb displaced Gazans. By the way, does this mean the Palestinian Authority that names streets after terrorists, that pays salaries to those who kill Jews and end up in prison, thus incentivizing terrorism? Following the Arab League's endorsement of Egypt's proposal, the US rejected it, with officials in Washington stating the current proposal does not reflect reality on the ground. Gaza is currently uninhabitable. The residents cannot live humanely amid widespread destruction and unexploded ordnance. And also, let's just be real, as history has shown, they will just choose terror and violence over again. So actually, for their sake, let alone Israel's sake, for their sake, they should choose a different path. In response to global criticism of Trump's Gaza relocation concept, the US president last week said nobody's expelling any Palestinians. Now, what he meant by that is a little bit cryptic, because perhaps he's saying, they're going to leave voluntarily. They're going to leave with cooperation from other countries. But either way, let's just be clear. Morally speaking, Israel has every right to do this. People say it's ethnic cleansing. This is absurd. You start a war against us, we win that war, we take the land. And you have to move out. This is not ethnic cleansing. It is actually the widespread majority view and desire of the Arabs in Gaza, and certainly their government. They're the ones who want ethnic cleansing and have wanted ethnic cleansing for 100 years. And we've tried for 100 years, basically, since the Peel Commission of the 30s, to try and have two-state solution, to have peace, to live side by side. And they've chosen war and destruction. They say, yeah, well, you kicked us out. What do you expect? No, we didn't kick you out. We were living side by side. The UN said, okay, there are Jews here, there are Arabs here. There was once a Jewish state here. There's never been an Arab state here. But for the sake of peace, let's just divide the land into two. We said yes, you said no. You went to war against us. And in the war where you tried to annihilate us, you lost your territory. You got displaced. That's my fault. You could have chosen peace. So we've tried it for 100 years, but they always want ethnic cleansing. Their side, not the Jewish side. These words, ethnic cleansing, get thrown around so lazily. Ethnic cleansing would be if we went into Gaza and we said, right, we're going to line everyone up and kill them one by one. Boom, 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 boom. That's ethnic cleansing. That's what Hamas do. We're saying we're relocating you. And by the way, it's not just because we won. It's because it's better for you as well. Otherwise, you will end up getting hurt because inevitably you will choose, or your leaders will choose, war and violence, and Israel will have to respond, and you're going to get hurt. If I was a Gazan, I would want to move to my indigenous Arab homelands where I'm away from the violence of leaderships and ideologies that seek the destruction of Jews, which will inevitably lead to more war. And it looks like some in Israel's political hierarchy are waking up to the fact that we have to start speaking in these terms, start speaking in Arabic as well. The language that they understand. For too long, we've tried a language of peace and appeasement and negotiation, and it doesn't bring peace. It just shows weakness. We have to understand that the reason that Israel is such an abomination in the eyes of those who hate Israel in the Arab world is because they believe in the expansion of Islam in a political sense. If all the Jews were to convert tomorrow to Islam, God forbid, they wouldn't feel the need to free Palestine, which shows it's not about a national identity issue. Seeking self-determination. It's a religious issue. And so to lose territory and see the Jews restore sovereignty, it's very threatening to their ideology. Well, okay, but this is our land. And we should explain that religiously as well. From a religious perspective, this is our land ordained by God, and to go against that is to go against God. And it looks like slowly people in Israel's government are starting to wake up to that. Defense Minister Israel Katz said, quote, this is just out now, I've instructed the IDF to seize additional territories in Gaza while evacuating the population and to expand the security zones around Gaza in order to protect Israeli communities and IDF soldiers. The more Hamas continues its refusal to release the hostages, the more territory it will lose to Israel, which of course will be deeply threatening to them because starting to lose land, goodness me, how that would backfire from what they were trying to do on October 7th. But I don't think, and I think Jewish morality wouldn't say that just, you should, if they give that the hostages, then fine, then we won't take land. No. This is our land. We've shed blood, sweat, and tears over it. You've created tyranny when you've had control of this land. Historically, biblically, it's our land. And you've gone to war against us time and again, and we're going to take this land and make it prosper now. Shouldn't just be dependent on whether they give back the hostages. You give back the hostages and we take the land. So hopefully, slowly, we're seeing shifts. And we are noticing things happening. Look, I mean, who would have thought America would have this policy? America in some ways is getting ahead of the game before Israel even seems to, in terms of the shifts that are needed in thinking how we approach this issue. Very interesting times indeed. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.